Hello and welcome back to my channel Lady T. My name is Nathalie. And today we are going to continue with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and we are going to trial for the first time with Edgeworth. Karma? That's right, Manfred von Karma. He's the best prosecutor there is. He hasn't lost a case in his 40-year career. He is the god of prosecution, right? A god. Not a single case? He'll do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. Sounds like someone else I know, Edgeworth. Huh. You don't understand. I mean, he'll really do anything. Manfred von Karma isn't meant to be feared. That's quite a claim coming from someone who forges evidence. He told me what it really means to prosecute. What? Just picture a prosecutor as vicious as me, multiplied by a factor of 10. So was he your teacher then, Mr. Edgeworth? Something like that. He was my gay lover, but... And now he's trying to get you found guilty. What a creep. Oh wait, maybe he's planning on losing on purpose to help you out. Not a chance. He hasn't lost once in 40 years. 40 years! He's as ruthless as me, times 20. Gets just worse and worse, doesn't it? That's pretty ruthless. Like I said, he's a god among prosecutors. I guess that's something like Mia was to me. Speaking of Mia... Maya? Uh-huh. We could really be using Mia's help right now, don't you think? Oh. I can't. Sorry, I tried. I really tried. But I couldn't reach. You couldn't reach? I think it's because I haven't been training. My powers are weak again. Oh man, what bad timing. I'm really sorry. I'll try my best. I hope so. What are you whispering about? Oh, it's nothing. Well, it's time. Let's head in. Just imagine being there on the second day of Christmas. Oh, he looks like a vampire. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Vampire. Mr. von Karma, is the prosecution ready? Fool. You seriously think that I would stand here were I not completely prepared? Someone has issues. Right, my apologies. He's even got the judge scared. Very well, your opening statement, please. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. That should be fine. The prosecution may call its first witness. What's with this guy? Is he royalty or something? How am I supposed to fight against this? I call the detective in charge of this case, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Okay, Gumshoe's first. Let's see how this goes. Describe the incident. Now. Yes, sir. Detective Gumshoe looks nervous. Please take a look at the map. The murder happened late Christmas Eve, around midnight. There was one boat in the very middle of the lake. There were 2 men on the boat. Now there happened to be a woman camping here on the edge of the lake. At 12:10 a.m. she heard 2 pistol shots. Then the boat started to move. It went towards the boat rental shop. Testify to the court about the arrest. Now. Wait, Mr. von Karma. Yes. Actually, I'm the one that's supposed to be handling these proceedings. Wrong. There's only one thing you need to do here. You will slam down your gavel and say the word guilty. That is your role. You really have some issues. Yes, of course, you're quite right. No, he's not. A man called into the station around 30 minutes after midnight. We headed to the scene of the crime as fast as we could. That's where we found Mr. Edgeworth. Now, I didn't suspect him of anything at all. But the next morning, a body was found in the lake. So we had to arrest Mr. Edgeworth. I see. Very well. Begin your cross-examination, attorney. Now. No disrespect of the court or anything? Did you find any clues on the body? A single bullet was recovered from the body. It was shot through the heart, fatally. Judge, here's the bullet. It didn't strike bone, so its shape is well preserved. Very well, the court accepts this bullet into evidence. Why did you have to? Why is that? Well, we found a murder weapon in the boat. The murder weapon. A pistol. Detective Gumshoe. That is a vital piece of information. Please revise your testimony. Right, sorry, Joanna. The murder weapon we found in the boat was decisive evidence. What about a pistol made it decisive evidence? Ugh, yes, the same evil laugh as Edgeworth. There were fingerprints on the pistol found in the boat. They were clear prints for Mr. Edgeworth's right hand. What? Order, order. So, Mr. Edgeworth's fingerprints were found on the murder weapon? Yes, Your Honor. Judge, this is the weapon in question. Accept it into evidence. Members of the court, we now have the pistol used in the murder and the bullet found in the body. Detective? Yes, sir? Was the bullet found in the body fired from this pistol? Yes. The ballistic markings on the bullet match the pistol. Hey Nick, what does he mean, ballistic markings? Shocking. To imagine someone here does not know something as basic as ballistic markings. Nick, he's glaring at me. Well, just shut up then. Very well, I'll explain. Actually, Judge, you do it. Me? Ballistic markings are like the fingerprints of a gun. The barrel leaves distinctive marks on each bullet it fires. You can examine these ballistic fingerprints to see which gun fired the shot. It's quite accurate. Indeed. This leads to one inevitable conclusion. The bullet found in the victim's heart was, without a doubt, fired from this pistol. This pistol, which, as you may recall, was covered with the defendant's own fingerprints. Order! Order! This is bad. This makes it look like Edgeworth did it. Well, Judge, I'd say it's almost decisive, yes. Honestly, I could declare a verdict at this point, no. However... Dickweed. You wish to hear the witness speak, no doubt. Very well. I'm somewhat fatigued, and so I will take a brief break. I will call my witness after the recess, which will last 10 minutes. Judge. Yes? What are you doing? A 10-minute recess. Now! But wait, Just bang your flimsy gavel and get on with it, man. Yes. This court will take a 10-minute recess. Who's running this court anyway? Edgeworth, what's going on here? Your fingerprints were on the murder weapon. And that foggy photo makes one thing clear. The only one who could have shot that man was the person in the photo. True. Was that you in the boat? Yes, it was me. What? But you must believe me, I didn't shoot him. Then who did? I don't know. You don't know? Weren't you right there? I heard a gunshot from very close by. Then the other man fell from the boat. I can't say why, but I thought at the time that he had shot himself. It was the first thing that crossed my mind. You mean it was a suicide? That's the only explanation I can come up with, or you shot him. Huh. How am I going to convince anyone of that? Say, Maya? Huh? Oh, what? Any progress with Mia? Oh, sorry, it's no good. I know. I'm no good for anything, am I, Nick? If I can't call my sister, I might as well not be here, right? No, I need you here. No, of course not. I need you here. I can see you're always trying to help out. Even if you don't actually help, it's the thought that counts, right? It's okay, Nick. You don't have to make me feel better. I don't know anything about trials or defense. What's more, I'm a spirit medium who can't even contact spirits. Or everyone has their off days. I mean, I've just been getting lucky lately. But you never know when my luck is going to run out. Really? Whoa! Right. Don't jinx this case any more than it already is. It's bad for my heart. Oh! Sorry. Oops. Court is back in session. Mr. Von Karma, call your witness. Yes. Will Miss Lotta Hart take the stand? Lotta Hart, you are a research student at the university. That I am. Good. Begin by telling us what you saw the night of the incident. And don't add anything trivial or subjective. Understand? Y'all need to learn some manners. Understand? Yeah, I understand. I understand. Very well. Your testimony, please. It was Christmas Eve, just after midnight, I reckon. I was in my car. I heard this bang come up from the lake. When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat. Then there was another bang. There wasn't nary a thing on the lake but a boat. Enough. Huh? Judge, she happened to take a photo of the incident. This is that photo, accepted as evidence. Well, this is a surprise. This looks like the very moment of the murder. Order! I will remove people from this courtroom if I do not have order immediately. As the witness testified, she looked at the lake when she heard the shot. There were no other boats on that lake. So, the man in the boat with the victim must have been the one who shot him. Yes, it was the defendant, Miles Edgeworth. Order, order, order! I will have order. Well, Judge? The evidence is decisive. I have very little doubt about this case. Very well, this court finds the defendant... Wait, Your Honor! I haven't cross-examined the witness yet. A cross-examination? We have photographic proof. What question can there possibly be? This photo is worth 1,000 words, and they all read guilty. You lose. Or do you claim to have found a contradiction in the testimony? Very well, if you have to, you may cross-examine the witness. You will only flounder and ask meaningless questions. You will fail to find anything. And then I will have you held in contempt of court. Nick? Contempt? Contempt of court, you know. I guess I understand. Well, what are you going to do? Do you really think there was a contradiction with the facts in the testimony? Probably. I think I noticed one little thing. Whoa, I'm impressed, Nick. I didn't notice anything. Right, let's take him on. Yeah, I got a better feeling about this. I understand. I will cross-examine the witness. Very well. I pray for your sake this isn't a waste of time. I'm praying for that too. Why were you camping there anyway? I'm a research student at my university. I was taking pictures to use in my research. What research? This all sounds suspicious. Miss Hart, could you be more specific about your research? Vampire guy. What does the witness's motive in camping by the lake have to do with this case? The answer is nothing. I object to this line of questioning. Objection sustained. Wait, now I'm the one who says that. Well, then say it already. Objection sustained. Thanks for nothing, Your Honor. So, you weren't looking at the lake at the time? Nope. I looked after I heard that noise. She said that already. I ask you to find contradictions, not leisurely chat with the witness. Could you clearly see the two men? Just look at the picture. Clear enough for you? No? Uh-oh. Wait a second. I wasn't asking you about the photo. I was asking if you saw the two men. Yeah, well, of course. The witness has testified that she saw them. There's also a photo. You'd best look elsewhere for your precious contradictions. He jumped in quick. He's hiding something. Were you watching the very moment the shot rang out? Well, yeah, sure. You're asking meaningless questions. Meaningless. I don't think she saw. Contradictions, Mr. Wright, not meaningless babble. Von Karma, I think I hate you. He's trying to keep me from talking to the witness. To what end? He just wants to win. Are you sure about that? Yeah, sure as a country girl can be. That sounds pretty sure. How come you're so sure? Well, heck, I scanned the whole lake. Scanned the whole lake? It almost sounds like she was more interested in the lake than the boat. Miss Hart, you... Mr. Wright, the witness has answered the question in full. No need for further questions. Objection sustained. That's what I'm... Sustained! Yes, of course. Oh, great. Enough. I think we've heard all we need to hear, Mr. Wright. It seems you are unable to find a contradiction in the testimony worth noting. But Your Honor... You keep your promise. Mr. Wright, I am afraid that I will have to penalize any further outbursts by holding you in contempt of court. And if that happens, you'll have to leave the courtroom immediately. Understood? Fuck you. Nick, Lotta's testimony is fishy, Nick. Real fishy. I know what you mean, but if I can't say anything, what can I do? Show evidence. I believe we've covered the evidence sufficiently to make a decision. Then pass your judgment. Very well. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, please take the stand. Who was that? It was me. Maya. Is something wrong? Do you need to use the facilities? No, I do not. Lotta Hart, your testimony stinks. It's unclear whether you were actually looking at the lake. It's highly doubtful that you actually saw Mr. Edgeworth. Tell us the truth. This is a matter of life or death. Lotta, did you really clearly see Mr. Edgeworth that night? Did you see him fire that pistol? You will stand down. The court does not acknowledge the defense's outburst. Answer me, Lotta. What's the big idea? Treating me like some kind of criminal. I saw him, I swear it. I saw Edgeworth. Enough, Judge. Declare the defense in contempt of court. Yes, of course. Well, what the fuck is wrong with you? Gather your balls. I'm sorry, but you were warned. Guard, escort Mr. Wright out of the courtroom. He is in contempt of court and must leave. No. No. Wait. I was the one who made the outburst, Joanna. Nick is innocent. Ha. What's the difference? All that remains is for the guilty verdict to be declared. Isn't that right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Wrong. What? Did you hear what Miss Hart just said? She said she clearly saw Mr. Edgeworth. That was not in the testimony. That changes her testimony and I have a right to cross-examine her again. Oh, fuck you, vampire. Order, 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 order. You're in contempt of court. It's too late for wild claims. Judge, sustain my objection. I'm sorry, Mr. von Karma, but I cannot. You gathered your balls. What? Miss Lotta Hart has made a new testimony. The defense does have a right to cross-examine her again. But he's in contempt of court. No, I am. If you're going to arrest someone, arrest me. Very well. Maya Fey, you will leave the courtroom immediately. Nick, I did what I could. You have to do the rest. Good luck. Maya. Well, she's a hero. Heroine. Pah, I care not for this melodrama. Listen well, Mr. Wright. I do not tolerate badgering of my witnesses. I'm running out of time. I'd better find a contradiction in here or else. Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. The last statement. But you couldn't have. Got you. Got you, Miss Hart. Finally. What? You got what? Look at this photograph. The photo I took? The very same. There's something I want you to see in this photo. It's quite clearly visible. The fog, Miss Hart. So? This picture was taken with professional, high-quality film, correct? Yet, even it could not capture the faces of the men on the boat. Yet you claim you saw Mr. Edgeworth. How? What? What? Mr. Wright has a point. That's why I told her not to say that in her testimony. Please. Yet now she has said it, Mr. von Karma. How could you possibly see Mr. Edgeworth? Explain yourself. Miss Hart? What? Could you see the defendant that night? Of course, I said I could and I meant I could. Then please testify as to the circumstances of your sighting. I did it. I finally found a hole in Von Karma's carefully vague testimony. Yeah, you're right. It was a cold night and the fog was thick as grits. So, once I was finished setting up my camera, I got back in the car. Still, I brought my binoculars with me. When I heard that noise out on the lake, I looked with my binoculars. See? No problem. You used binoculars. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. This one better be good. Binoculars? Yeah, binoculars. Yesterday you mentioned that you were out looking for shooting stars, correct? Well, yeah. Wouldn't you need a telescope, not binoculars for that? I've got doubts about your camera too. Was that really to take pictures of the meteor showers? The camera is irrelevant to this case. You can't say that for certain. Mr. Wright, is the camera really relevant to this case? If you believe it is, you may continue with this line of questioning. But know this. If you find nothing with this, there will be consequences. Well, Mr. Wright, do you wish to press further about the camera? This is make it or break it time. The camera is of utmost importance, Your Honor. It is perhaps the key to this entire case. Therefore, I will continue my line of questioning. Well, maybe I went a little overboard there. Very well. Miss Hart, you will testify to the court about the camera. Yeah, I hear ya. The camera was set up to take pictures of a meteor. Miss Hart, what made you choose that lake to photograph meteors? You know the fog gets thick on that lake. It's not very suited to stargazing. Yeah, well, you see, I guess I wasn't thinking too straight. Mr. Wright, I will not have you battering my witness because of her challenged intellect. Now wait a minute. Continue your testimony. You were saying how it was that you saw Mr. Edgeworth. No unnecessary comments, please. No, we're not done with you. You were photographing shooting stars. That's a lie. Says who? I saw the camera you set up yesterday. It was pointed directly at the lake. You have to point the camera upwards to take photos of the stars, Miss Hart. I got you there. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? The witness was not at the lake to photograph shooting stars, Your Honor. Well then, what exactly was she photographing? Yeah, I think we have some evidence. What was Miss Hart trying to photograph at? There was one other thing at the lake though, wasn't there? Miss Hart, this is what you were trying to photograph. What's this? A newspaper article. Gordy. Ah, the site to get Gord Lake. Well, Miss Hart? I never heard of no lake monster. You got proof or something? Let's see your proof that I was down at the lake trying to photograph this Gordy. I have it. Proof. Intriguing. Very well, let's see it. And no joking around this time, please. What is proof that the witness was trying to photograph Gordy, the lake monster? The proof, Miss Hart, is your own camera. Your camera was set to take photos in response to loud noises, correct? Thus this photograph here taken when a gun fired on the lake. And here, this article about Gordy. According to this article, Gordy made a loud noise when it emerged. Well, you were trying to photograph Gordy, weren't you? That's why you had set your camera to respond to loud noises. Order, order. Well, what does this prove? I see. I too thought it was a little strange. Yeah, sure. Well, Miss Hart? You were camping there to try and take a photo of Gertie, weren't you? Yeah. Not bad. Are all you lawyers that smart? So, smart boy, I was down there trying to photograph Gertie. You got me. So what? Huh? That don't change what I saw, does it? No, exactly. That was what I was saying. Exactly. What you just used several precious minutes of our time to prove is nothing more than that the witness is an idiot who thinks monsters exist. Hey! But as she so secretly said, so what? It changes nothing. Not true. You are hiding the whole thing about Gertie for some reason. I know it. But what could it have been? Whatever it is, I'm getting to the bottom of this. Miss Hart, why did you hide the fact that you were searching for Gertie from the court? Please revise your testimony. Right, fine, I'll testify. It won't change nothing though. Something will change. It has to. And I'm going to spot it, or else the game won't continue. Actually, I'm not a research student at a university. I'm an investigative photographer. Imagine what a scoop it'd be if I got a picture of that monster. That's why I was camping out on the lake. But that's all I was hiding. When I heard a bang, I looked right straight out at that lake. There wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched that boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands, and I heard another gunshot. I was looking right at that boat the whole time, crossed my heart and hoped to fry. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. The witness's testimony is unchanged from before. Whether she is a research student or a photographer has no bearing on this case. There is no need to waste more of her time with another pointless cross-examination. Good job, Phoenix. I claim the defense's right to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Von Kamer is up to something. I know it. He doesn't want me to cross-examine her because... Why? Was there a contradiction? Very well, you may begin the cross-examination. You seem sure of yourself. You must have something in mind. Ha, that would be a first. Haha, very funny. You understand that this is your last chance at the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. If there is no problem with the testimony this time, we will let the witness leave. I will announce my verdict at that time, Mr. Wright. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. No pressure or anything. What does this mean? An investigative photographer? Yep. You get your photo and sell it to the press. It's that kind of business. Hey, I was taking pictures at my sister's graduation last year. And guess what? What? There was a UFO just hanging in the sky. A UFO? You know, an unidentified flying object. A UFO. That's when I had sort of a revelation. I knew I should become an investigative photographer. I see. Kind of a shaky basis for a career. There wasn't much else to look at. Miss Hart, were you really looking at that boat? What's with you? Of course I was looking at it. It was the only thing out there. Any normal person would be looking at it. I agree. Any normal person would. But you are far from normal. What? Y'all want to step over here and say that? You were camping at the lake to take a picture of Gertie. Think about it. What would you do if you heard a loud noise? You'd be scanning the lake for any sign of Gertie, that's what. You wouldn't give the boat a second thought. Ugh. Order. Continue, Mr. Wright. You testified that you were watching the boat through binoculars. However, you wouldn't need binoculars to watch that boat. You needed them to search for Gertie, and that's what you were doing. Well? Well, now that you all mention it, I did sort of take my binoculars and kind of scan the lake a bit. I mean, Cordy might be out there and all. Miss Hart, are you saying that you were not watching the boat then? Sorry, y'all. I wasn't fibbing, really. I thought, I could be witness to a murder and all. I kinda got excited. I was sure I was watching that boat. Till now. This is totally uncalled for. But hey, you got the photograph. You got proof. Still, we can't see who is shooting who in this. Right. That's why I took this photo. Witness, that's enough. You've had a long day. Shut your pie hole. Shut my what? What was she going to say? She took the photo and what? Wait a second. She even had a photograph to prove it. But you really can't tell from the photo who is shooting. That's why she said she's going to enlarge the photo. She said it will drop the quality a mite, but should let us see who is who. She enlarged that photo. Why won't Von Karma let her show it? I've got a hunch. I bet that enlarged photo shows something bad for Von Karma. This is my chance. If I'm wrong though, it will mean prison for Edgeworth. Or worse. Well, if it shows Edgeworth in the photo, then we know he's guilty, so justice will run its course. Miss Hart, look at this photograph. You enlarged this photograph, did you not? Yeah, I did. Why has that enlargement not been presented to the court? Because it doesn't exist. What are you talking about? You were the one who told me not to show it in court in the first place. You old fool. There you got the vampire there. What's the meaning of this, Mr. Von Karma? Miss Hart? Show the photo to the court. Show us the enlargement. The prosecution objects to the submission of this evidence. Objection denied. The witness will show the enlargement to the court. Here it is. You still can't see faces. We still cannot see who's firing in this. It could be the defendant, or maybe it's not. Regardless, I'll accept this as evidence. Happy now, Mr. Wright? There has to be something. You asked for the enlargement, you got the enlargement. And little good it has done any of us. That's why I requested she not show it. I suppose this means that the cross-examination is over, obviously. Then I would like to close the cross-examination of Miss Lotte Hart. And none too soon. That was a flagrant waste of my time. Mr. Von Karma, do you have anything to add? I stated everything I needed to when this trial began. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. Then I believe it is time for me to declare my verdict. Wait, it's not supposed to go like this. There has to be a clue in this photo. Somewhere. Well, he was holding... okay. The photograph, he's holding the left hand. But it's the right hand. Object. Your Honor. There is something decidedly strange with this enlargement. What might that be? Well, he was supposed to have held it with his right hand, but it is... Mr. Wright, you will show the court what you mean. What about this photo is strange? Okay, here goes nothing. I'll show the judge what's strange about this photo. Here, Jana. The shooter? I'm not sure I understand. What about the shooter is strange? Look at the hand holding the pistol, Jana. The hand? That hand directly contradicts another piece of evidence. This man's left hand does what? Let me show you. I'll show you the evidence that left hand contradicts. I have to... wait. The evidence is clear. The man in this photograph is holding that pistol in his left hand. However, the prints on the murder weapon were from Edgeworth's right hand. Ergo, the man shooting the pistol in this photograph is not Mr. Edgeworth. Holy fuckamole. That changed things. Now that everyone in the courtroom has quieted down, I would like to reconvene this court of law. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You have given us definitive proof today. We now know that it was not Mr. Edgeworth who fired the pistol that night. However, this leaves us with a rather large problem. If Mr. Edgeworth didn't do it, then who shot our victim? Precisely. As we have seen, there were no other people on the lake that night. Who but the defendant could have shot the victim? Yeah, that is our theory. There's only one explanation remaining. The man who shot the victim was none other than the victim himself. Not that the picture shows that, but... Order, order! So, you are saying that the victim committed suicide? Yes, Your Honor. I can think of no other explanation. Indeed, it does seem to be the only remaining option. I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright, but suicide is out of the question. What? An examination of the victim's wound reveals the distance at which he was shot. The distance? The victim was clearly shot from further than a meter away. A meter? That's 3 feet. There is no way it could have been suicide. Order, order. Mr. von Karma, are you sure of the accuracy of your data? Of course, I had already considered the possibility of suicide, you see. I see. Very well, allow me to state my opinion. Considering the situation, the shooter had to be the defendant, Mr. Edgeworth. However, the prints on the gun reveal that the shooter was not Mr. Edgeworth. This is a conundrum. Therefore, I would like to suspend proceedings for this trial for the day. The court orders the defense and the prosecution to further investigate this matter. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. That is all. This court is adjourned. Well, we made it out alive. That's good. Whew, that was a close one. Hey, don't you have anything to say? No, I've yet to be declared innocent, right? Well, yeah, but what happened out there on that lake anyway? Aren't you proud of us? If he didn't commit suicide, then who... The shooter was about a meter away too. What? Don't give me that look. I did not kill him. I was just kidding around. Look, I'm going to go check on Maya. Oh, right. What? Tell her something for me. What? Tell her to watch what she says in court. That's all. Would it kill you to just state how you really feel with her thanks, Edgeworth? He is trying to help out. I requisitioned a transcript of Lotta's entire testimony. I thought it might give me some ammunition for the trial tomorrow. Of course she didn't see the shooter, so the only part of her testimony that stood was the bang she heard. Well, thank you for watching. Tomorrow I think we're going to investigate tomorrow. Or we're going back to court, we'll see. Thank you for watching and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Goodbye!